Hi, welcome back. It's Chris Watkin here, and we're going to be talking about the second important element to landlord and vendor farming, and that is the posting of properties that are on the market with competitors. Now, the first thing you are going to say is, why the hell should I talk about a competitor's property on my own blog? And it's quite a subtle technique. Now, there's only two types of buyers out there. There are buyers who are going to live in the property, and there are buyers who are going to rent it out, i.e. landlords. Let's start off with the landlords. The important thing is that you want landlords to be attracted to you. Chucking out an article every single week is great, and in the previous videos I've shown you how to do that. But you almost need chip paper content that people will consume readily and forget the next day. Now, we've been doing this for a good 6 or 7 years now. Every agent tells me that if you want, that they've helped landlords out by basically, someone, say a landlord walks through your door as an agent and says, have you got any great buy-to-let deals? And you haven't. Many of you watching this would have said, well, I've actually in the past said, well, Joe Blogg's estate agents up the road have got a property. I think you should go and buy that. Now, the amount of goodwill that you will get from a landlord going up there and buying it, quite more often than not, you speak to any agent and they say, I've ultimately got that property because I've built a relationship with that landlord. And that's what it's all about, is by talking about other agents' properties, you never had it in the first place. But by actually saying to a landlord, I think you should buy this, this is the very best buy-to-let deal there is, what you're actually doing is giving without expectation of return. And we all know that givers receive in this world. And you're going to say, well, I'm losing out. You never had the property in the first place. But if and for the first 6 months, I mean, they're going to see the property anyway, aren't they, on Rightmove? So by you actually saying to a potential landlord, but not just to want face to face, but publicly, this is the very best buy-to-let deal that you can buy, people will start to follow you, especially landlords. You see, if you just put your own properties on, people are going to say, well, you're only doing that because you want to sell property and you want to get something. But by giving, givers receive. So that's that type of video or post, and basically there are certain elements to that post. Now, the first thing you have to decide is are you going to do it in the written format or are you going to do it in the video format? So let us start off with the written format. So this is the written format on looking at competitors' properties, and it makes a great buy-to-let deal. So the title itself needs to be, so let's say we're in Grantham buy-to-let deal of the day, and you could probably put the date on it as well, 15th of June 2019. The elements of the post should be an introductory paragraph. So if you are a Grantham buy-to-let landlord, I've just seen this 2-bedroom terraced house has just come onto the market with Connells. It has a lounge, dining room, kitchen, double glazing, and gas central heating. It's on the market for $99,950. So you're almost giving out the facts and figures. Now, I must stress to you, you must mention the name of the agent. I can't stress the importance of that. If you don't, you'll get into trouble, and I'll explain why a little bit later in the video. So the first bit is an intro. The second part is the facts and figures, what it is: 2-bedroom terraced house, lounge, dining room, double glazing, gas central heating. You're typing all this out. You're mentioning the name of the agent, and you're mentioning how much it's on the market for. Because it's a buy-to-let deal, you also then want to say the rent, you should be able to achieve this for the rent, and this makes a potential yield of this. The next part is, the third part is, I think this makes a great buy-to-let deal because, and then list out your reasons why. It sells well, lets well, you'll get a tenant in here till the cows come home, and when you do come to sell it, it'll be absolutely great. What I would then do, again, if you're doing the written format, lastly, is to put a link to the property, a Rightmove link, so you're not accused of trying to sell it. You see, the first thing you're going to ask is do you need to ask permission of the vendor, and do you need to ask permission of the estate agent? And let me clarify that for you. You don't need to ask permission of the estate agent as long as you mention the name of the agent and you put a link back to the property. That's really important. Do you have to ask permission of the vendor? No, you don't. It's just social media. You're just sharing. You're not trying to do anything to try and get something. You're giving something. If the estate agent rings you up, which you might say, well, how often does an agent ring up and say, please take it down? You do not need to take instructions from that estate agent. If the estate agent's probably only ringing you up because they're worried you're trying to sell it, and if you actually see it, you actually mention the name of the agent and you suggest that they go and view the property through the opposition agent. I've got over 110 clients in the UK, and most of them do this technique. And in terms of how often do I get a phone call from one of my clients saying, so and so's rang me, what do? I probably get a phone call once every 6 months. And basically, you do not need to take instructions from the estate agent. If the vendor specifically wanted you to remove it, I would actually say to the agent, that's fine, I won't take instructions from you, but I will take instructions from the vendor if you want the vendor to give me a call, and I will take it down. But obviously, I'm trying to help you sell this property. I'm not trying to get anything. I'm not trying to nick your fee. And quite often, in the vast majority of cases, agents actually ring up the agent concerned saying, thanking them. Now, how would you do that on video? Well, I've done plenty of videos, and I will supply a link here, which you can see here on some training videos on how to do them on video. But in a nutshell, it's almost identical. And it really is a 3-stage process of you taking your mobile phone and your tripod to the property, standing outside. Now, do you need to ask permission to film on the public highway or the public path? No, you don't. You put your mobile phone up, you put it onto selfie mode, and you do a 3-stage, very similar to the written part, which is intro, facts and figures, and then finally, I love it because. So you do this. Hi, if you're a Grantham buy-to-let landlord, have I got a cracking deal for you? That's part 1. Part 2, it's a 2-bedroom terraced house on Victoria Street. It's on the market for $99,950 with Connells. It has a lounge, dining room, double glazing, gas central heating, and double glazing and central heating. It's on the market for $99,950, and it will rent for $650. This is stage 3. I think this makes a great buy-to-let deal because it will sell well, rent well, and it'll be just a nice little investment for you and a cracking yield of 4 or 5%. Very, very similar to the written part, but you're just doing it in video outside. And as I said, we did a link earlier on that you can see. Moving on to, most letting agents, if you have a lettings department, I would get your lettings guys to stand outside a competitor's house. You don't need a permission. You don't need permission from the vendor. And as long as you mention the name of the agent to put a link to the property, you're absolutely fine. The other type of property that you could do to highlight in your blog are properties that are on the market with other agents, are not being bought for buy to let, but for owner occupation. And the principle is exactly the same. Now, there's a number of agents out there, they call it eye candy property of the week or just gorgeous house of the week. And again, the written format and the video format is almost identical to the ones on the buy to let deals, where you will actually say, in the written format, hi, my name's Chris Watkin, and as you know, I like to show you the most interesting house that's come onto the market for owner occupation in the last week in Grantham. That's stage 1. Connells have just put this magnificent 3-bedroom detached cottage with views over Belvoir Castle, with lounge, dining room, kitchen, double glazing, gas central heating and helicopter pad. Stage 3, I love this house. My missus would love it because it's got the kitchen opening onto the patio doors out onto the veranda with views over to Belvoir Castle. It has a swimming pool and a helicopter pad, and I'll tell you what, the decoration is absolutely gorgeous. Here's a link to the property, and I'll see you next week with my favourite Forever Home, or Forever Eye Candy Property Home, or just the Eye Candy Property of the Week. Doesn't matter what you call it. Again, it's going to screw most of you up, saying, well, surely I'm pushing another agent's property. Yes, you are. But the whole purpose is this, is if you just put your own properties on, and honestly, guys, I will totally expect you to put your own properties, do your own videos, and get them out to try and get them sold or let. I take that as read, but keep them away from your blog. This is your blog where once a week you'll put a meaty, gutsy article on about the property market, and then 2 or 3 times a week, either in written format or video, you will see you either standing outside the house with your mobile phone or written, saying this is the most interesting house that's come on the market for owner occupation, or this is the most best buy-to-let deal there is. And we've proved beyond doubt in the last 6 or 7 years that if you go out there and give without expectation of return, people will love you. So there you go. What I'm advocating is, in the written format or video, at least 2 or 3 times a week, be it a great buy-to-let deal or be it a great owner-occupier deal, you basically say it's the best property that's come on the market with my competitor. Now, you might not agree with me on this, but we have proved beyond doubt by giving without expectation of return, you will win. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave you with some videos of some other agents telling you that you have nothing to worry about.
How are we doing? I'm just jumping on here to do a very quick video just to say about these daily property videos or property videos about competitors, properties that are on the market for sale that make great buy-to-let deals or are unique special houses on sorry, the office are wondering why I said farmers, so excuse the interruption. So yeah, the unique properties, great buy-to-let deals. Anyway, do it. We've done now at Wilson & Co. probably, I think we're up to probably about 80 or 90 videos on properties that have been marketed by competitors. We have seen a massive increase in people coming to us now, to be honest, and recognise, it's mainly me that does the videos, but recognise me. I've even had randomly the lady who serves up the chicken in Tesco say, "You're the guy who does property videos, aren't you? You know, in the area, etc." They massively help your exposure. They show that you're not biased just about your agency, because as Sir CW always bangs on about, it's not about you, it's not about your agency, it's always about them. And if you're providing content for people which shows them a amazing house, whether it's on with you or not, or for the landlords, an amazing buy-to-let deal, and you're a letting agent and you're showing them all these great buy-to-let deals, whether they are on with you or not, then they just automatically look at you as like an authority and also somebody who cares about providing information to the general public. I don't particularly enjoy doing the videos that I do, but after a while you get very comfortable with doing it, and who cares? Who cares what people think at the end of the day? So my advice to you is get it done. There's going to be zero issue with you standing outside a competitor's property. Last year we did a daily video. Probably 3 of the videos out of 31 were our own properties, but the rest of them were all other competitors' properties for sales and for lets, buy-to-let deals. And announcement, I'm going to do, me and Dan, hopefully Dan will join me on this, but we're going to do February, we're going to do the daily video. The daily video will be back with Wilson & Co. Just offering the best buy that's come on in the last day or the last couple of days. So listen, I hope some of you have found this useful. I hope this gets rid of some of your fears, thoughts, and just crack on. Love to see your videos. If you've done any recently, pop them in your comments, pop them in the comment section, and I'll give you a thumbs up and a love and a share. All right, thanks for watching.